Hi, I'm John Cadell, Cadell Insight Group. Welcome to my weekly update. I've been talking to a lot of companies about a project that I've been working with recently around gathering customer stories from contact center recordings and listening to them and finding patterns in them that companies can use to improve their products and services and their market positioning with those customers. And the most frequent response I've heard from people that I've talked to about this approach is, oh yeah, it sounds great. We already do all that stuff. And it's occurred to me that I really am not explaining it very well if I get that response. Because when companies say they do this already, what they're saying is that they gather a lot of data and they look at it a lot. In general, they take gigabytes of customer information that they gather, different metrics, different summaries, etc. Run it through query programs and present dashboards to people to make decisions. And so I can't argue with them because they do that. What I've had difficulty in doing is trying to tell people how what I'm doing is different. And I discovered a phrase this week that really captures the difference. Although I'm not sure it's going to help me sell a lot more projects. But the term I heard this week in a blog post was low tech and on the ground. And it was a way of describing how these narrative approaches are unique. And it really does capture some of the most important aspects of these approaches as I've used them. Maybe let's take on the ground first, meaning instead of being up high, with a 30,000 foot view of what's going on, you're right down in the weeds. You're down with people who are talking directly to customers who are directly talking about a situation, a problem, or a question that they might have. So it's the opposite of a summary. It's an anti-summary, if that makes sense. And it's low tech. It's not using sort of new IBM software to comb through zillions of bytes of data and finding patterns in the numbers. It's instead picking out a handful of real incidents and looking through those to find patterns. My argument is that that is as statistically useful as a large-scale numerical analysis, but it's also far more useful in many ways because it unveils data that's not available, that's not accessible through the 30,000 foot approach. It's low tech because it involves listening, a person with headsets on, or somebody watching a video, or somebody reading a story. It doesn't involve computer algorithms, which I know well. I used to write them. I like them, but they're not really appropriate in these cases. So when somebody says to me, we do all of this already, what I'll tell them is it low tech and on the ground? If it's not, it's a lot different from what I do. Like I said, I'm not sure that's going to help me sell any more projects, but I feel good that it's a useful way to describe what I've been working on. Talk to you next week.